So as the ministers step down from the stage, I'd like to take you to one of the closing elements that we normally use to sum up the work of the Pan-Commonwealth Forum that Col supports, and that's the statement. So every Pan-Commonwealth Forum, we tend to close with a statement. We work every 2 to 3 years since 1999. We've brought the Commonwealth together in a forum which has ministers, regulators, institutions, and NGOs all together, teachers and scholars, to focus on what's been happening in open learning and how the Commonwealth is progressing and how Col can support that. In Calgary, the statement from the 10th Commonwealth Forum is echoed in the work that you have done here. The statements are intended to help guide our work and help us to look strategically into the future, framing key issues that somehow bring together a major topic that work needs to be done on and that we can invest in. PCF11 asked us to do 6 specific things around resilience in lifelong learning, innovation, girls, harnessing emerging technology. All of that work is now seen in the themes that came into PCF11. From 10, we moved into 4 themes that you have all been working on and contributing to, with a few special focus items. And I'm happy to say that over the last 3 days, 48 countries of the world, 44 of them from the Commonwealth, which is not bad out of 56, and over 400 of you have focused on this work, bringing over 350 papers and a lot of expertise together to look at the critical issues that face us today and that we'll have to address over the next 3 years. The Botswana statement brings forum partners from across the Commonwealth, representing our 2.7 billion people of the Commonwealth, meeting in Gaborone, Botswana, under the theme of open education, fostering resilient societies for sustainable economic development, and in the spirit of CHOGM's 2024 One Resilient Common Future, we support prioritizing the following collective actions. Firstly, equity with quality at scale. What this means is that we support inclusive, accessible, and high-quality open learning via open, distance, and flexible methods for all learners, especially girls and women, persons with disabilities, disengaged youth, and marginalized communities, so that every learner can achieve, exchange knowledge, and access quality learning. 2, skills for productive and resilient lives. Encourage the expansion of flexible work, relevant learning for out-of-school youth and adults. The alignment of micro-credentials and prior learning recognition with labor market demand. Prioritize TVET training and equipping, and the building of green and blue economy skills that also support intra-Commonwealth trade and investment opportunities. 3, a focus on ethical leverage of the digital dividend, which for us means promote the development of open learning as digital public goods, underpinned by open standards, the building of digital public infrastructure, and connectivity for education, and the adoption of ethical, inclusive AI with data protection guardrails. 4, teachers as skilled agents of change, which for us means that we support the creation of flexible, technology-enabled pathways into teaching and learning. We scale cost-effective school, college, and university-based professional development and support communities of practice so teachers model lifelong learning and drive change. 5, to reimagine assessment. This means we encourage the adoption of authentic, supportive, and competency-based assessment, including micro-credentials, to strengthen employability and micro-entrepreneurship with robust quality assurance and portability across borders. 6, the positive disruption of post-secondary education. This means strengthening technology-enabled learning ecosystems in TVET and HE, recognizing prior and experiential learning, the expansion of OER and open science, and the use of trustworthy digital credentials to remove barriers to learning. 7, there are cross-cutting commitments we wish to make to support resilience for small, vulnerable states and SIDS, climate and ocean literacy, and access to climate finance via skills and knowledge. Gender equality and youth leadership integrated across all the actions. Safe, trusted information ecosystems consistent with Commonwealth principles on expression and media. Our ambition is to achieve this through inclusive collaboration, which means governments, institutions, communities, businesses, and accredited organizations working together, strengthening the synergies across the Commonwealth Secretariat, the Commonwealth Foundation, and the Commonwealth of Learning to maximize impact. And B, sustaining momentum, which means establishing an action tracker, sharing implementation evidence through CCEM, the meeting of the education ministers, and similar intergovernmental meetings. This constitutes, from the work we have done in the last 3 days, the Botswana statement for PCF11. We would like to thank the government and people of Botswana for their warm hospitality and leadership. For the Botswana statement, we use our statements to feed into the strategic review of our work. In that strategic review, all of the things that we're doing with all of you in this room is governed, is managed, and is evaluated and held to account. It's very important that everything we do is understood so that we're delivering effective value for money to all of our countries and all of our partners. It's critical that we have key ideas that will help to drive our work over the next 3 years as we reframe our strategy. And it's also important that it isn't just words. It's critical that we have actionable insights in each of those areas to help lead to action that we'll be able to showcase the next time we meet. And with that, I'd like to say the work of PCF11 is complete, and I'd invite the Vice-Chancellor of the Botswana Open University to join me on stage for some final words. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to once again acknowledge our honorable ministers, our distinguished delegates, my colleagues, and of course, friends. We have come to the end of what my colleague Sunny would describe as a sumptuous event. Those are that's his words, sumptuous event. But what I have heard is that some people have described it as a memorable forum. We have had the pleasure of the President of the Republic of Botswana and most of his leadership team grace the occasion and give it the gravitas that it deserves. And it is my belief that with that recognition that came from their presence, open education, open learning has been stamped firmly in the minds and the landscape of this country, and I think also the Commonwealth, because I want to believe they were also participating through the streaming, etc. It has been a good moment. During this time, many papers around the conference themes were discussed, presented and discussed. We had a number of brilliant and insightful keynote addresses that kept us riveted to our seats and all agog with focus and concentration, and all of those leading to stimulating conversations that were had. You will agree with me that our various panelists and our ministerial panel that just completed their presentations, they had a lot to share with us, food for thought. And it is all those ideas from the panelists, from the keynotes, from the presentations, from the discussions, from the forum that have led to the Botswana statement. It's my belief that we've learned a lot from each other that we will take away and act upon. Personally, this has been an invaluable experience in terms of learning from all of you, meeting all of you, and appreciating the Commonwealth spirit. We've tackled a number of topics. They were outlined in the slides presented by Prof. Scott. And partnerships have been forged and shall continue to unfold in the days that are to come. And of course, the Botswana statement. But alongside the hard work, ladies and gentlemen, fun was had. And that fun led to friendships that I'm sure will also, unfold. Sightseeing in GC or GABS or Gaborone, as some are wont to say, but it's Gaborone actually. Wonderful meals, I hope, to your taste, and perhaps for, scintillating your taste buds to new and exciting cuisine, especially the organic chicken that we had, the road runner, the hard body. I hope you enjoyed that. The receptions were great. And of course, that gala dinner, the dancing was just out of this world. So that was a good balance of work and play, just as it should be. So we talked about a lot of things, and I don't want to enumerate them. You know, you were here, you experienced it. I just want to end by once more reiterating my gratefulness or my gratitude. And in doing so, I hope I represent my ministry, my DPS, my colleagues from BO and also from the ministry, by one, thanking the country leadership for supporting us, obviously for coming through, thanking CALL for giving us the opportunity, small state that we are. Thanks to the Ministry of Higher Education for giving us the opportunity to be the implementing agency and also the support, because without it, we would not have been able to do what has been done. And of course, a big thank you to our sponsors. And the organizing committee, headed by Professor Ayuk and Mr. Rapo, you deserve special mention. What you did, I don't know. I wish to thank the delegates who came from far and wide and maintained that interest, that commitment throughout the 3 days. When you count 3 days, it seems short, but when you have a program as rich as the one that we had, it can take a lot out of you. But nevertheless, the interest never waned. The interest was sustained. That speaks to the commitment. A big word of thanks to my colleagues at the Botswana Open University and, of course, the Ministry of Higher Education and other ministries that assisted in this great project. They ensured that we had everything that we needed. And if there was anything that you did not get, the onus is on me. I take the blame. But they did everything in their power to ensure that everything worked like clockwork. And it would really be remiss of me if I didn't mention Dr. Anne-Marie Scott. Every day, every session, she directed, and directed with great aplomb. Thank you very much indeed for the great job. And with that, I have something for the CALL president, a little something for you. And Linda, who was part of the bid, who was part of the team that wrote the winning bid, Linda Kaswani, is bringing it over. Thank you very much, Linda.
So, Your Excellencies, everyone, and protocol being recognized, I would just have to say that huge thanks to the Open University of Botswana and the Higher Education Ministry of Botswana and the Government of Botswana and the President of Botswana for the fantastic, warm Botswana welcome. And Professor Ayuk and all of my team have done a fantastic job, I think, and I'm very grateful for all of the work they've done in running around. So all of that team together deserve another round of applause. It would be remiss of me, I'm not going to go through all of the list that the Vice-Chancellor did, because she's thanked everyone so beautifully that I'm not going to repeat that. And I promise, even though there is a stage in the marquee, I promise we won't use it for any talking. So if anyone wants to get up there and dance, that's fine. But we won't do any more talking unless it's networking. The closing event for this forum is to get you to finish networking and talking to everyone who's come here to talk to you. Glass of wine, nice soft drink, and some nice quiet music to allow you to talk will be in the marquee in approximately 2 minutes' time. Right? So you've got a whole 2 minutes to get over to the marquee. But I would be remiss if I didn't thank the Ministers of Education, Higher Education, and Further Education, and Education generally, who have joined us here today. Please do not underestimate the honor we have been given, not just by the President of Botswana, not just by all the fantastic heads of institutions who've come here, but by ministers themselves joining us for not just a full 3 days, but the travel to get here. That's a huge commitment. So we have to be incredibly proud that they've joined us. Thank you very much, ministers. We are very pleased for that level of engagement. That's huge. We're now down to 60 seconds before the marquee is open. And finally, I'd just like to thank everyone here. You have all gone to a lot of trouble and a lot of dedication to give all of your days to this work and your work with us in the Commonwealth. I'm very proud of you all, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. But first, I will look forward to a comfortable drink with you all in now 30 seconds. Thank you.